Hello and welcome to Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and me. I'm Meredith Loughran. Today's special guests hail from New York, cutting their teeth in basement venues, dive bars, and the subways of the Lower East Side. I'm talking about Lovechild. Please welcome Leo Lovechild and Wyatt Mones.
Hey guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. Good to be here.
Oh, you bet. Thanks so much for joining us, man. I tell everybody, and Meredith knows this, I have a very wide range of musical interest. I literally like everything from Mozart to Metallica. It just depends on my mood. And I hadn't had the pleasure of hearing about you guys until I came across your publicist and she turned me on to you. And I have to say, I love what I hear, man. I played it for my wife. I played the new song, Hats Off, which we'll play here in just a minute. I played, and this was funny because I told Meredith in chat, I said, okay, me and these guys are going to get along just great because their first single release was Ain't Nothing Worse Than Running Out of Weed. And so we're going to get along just fine. And I played that for my wife and she got a kick out of it as well. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard of Lovechild, you're missing out. You really are. I want to get in, of course, to who your influencers were, but really, I heard a lot of like tinges of Mick Jagger and Arlo Guthrie, Arlo Guthrie, and that's what my wife said as well. But I want to pause for just a minute here, everyone. I want y'all to watch this new video, Hats Off, and we'll talk about it more afterwards. So check it out.
Ain't
I mean, there's a couple of things that strike me first off, and the opening lyrics, man. It ain't about black or white, it ain't about day or night, and you know that the law ain't always right. When did you write this song? Was this something recent?
So no, actually, those lyrics are super old, if I'm being honest. I wrote like the initial version of this song, honestly, before I even met, like probably, I don't know, 2 years or a year or two before I met Wyatt. I was 18 or 19, I think.
Wow.
And I was a sophomore at college. Actually, I'm gonna have to credit my dad with the first line of the song, if I'm being perfectly honest. He's a I don't want to be mean, but I guess he's an amateur songwriter. I think his songs are really good. He's not like the most professional musician, but I think his lyrics are good. And he had a song where that was the first line of the song. It ain't about black or white or getting stoned in the middle of the night. And he used to sing that when I was a kid all the time, and I never knew what he was talking about. But then I learned when I got older. Anyway, so I stole the first line from him, actually, and then it kind of became like a kind of like angry, rejected feeling love song a little bit, I guess, and then like, which turned into something, I guess, more just about music and rock and roll in general for me. And then playing the song, like once I don't know, I moved back to New York City after leaving college or dropping out of college. I met Wyatt and his brother, and we started playing together. And so we've played this song for like the whole entirety of the band's existence.
I think it's the only song.
Pretty much the only song that like we still play today, that we played on like day one together.
I mean, it's not the same song that we played 5 years ago.
It's had many forms, many different like whatever spirits, but ultimately has always been kind of like probably our most like balls to the wall rock and roll song.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of already knew the answer to that because I saw you in the makeup for this video in the Love Me All Up video, when y'all were doing the home video kind of thing. So I knew it wasn't written at this time, but I wanted to share that with our audience because those first few lyrics, guys, it sounds so timely. And with the voice on this and the music of it, it's just really catchy. I was listening to it right before we logged in here, and I've probably listened to it a half a dozen times today.
That's good.
And like I know I suffer from OCD, and so when I find something I like, I keep listening, or I keep watching, or I keep reading until I've got it. And so, man, I got so many questions for you guys, but let me ask you this: why whiteface?
Yeah, there are kind of a few things, but Leo is a huge Bob Dylan fan. Like, I also like can kind of see the resemblance there. There was what was it called?
The Rolling Thunder tour. It was like they just made the whole. Martin Scorsese just released a documentary from that tour actually, and
he did this.
He has like a
It's
kind
almost
of
identical.
like clown white face makeup thing going on throughout that tour.
It was just kind of like part of it was kind of just like an homage to that, and like one of the major influences. And like Lou Reed did a similar thing for a bit. It was more just like having zero budget and trying to find a way to make the video just feel like more,
Actually, when I saw the video, I thought it was I wasn't even thinking whiteface at all because I saw the dark circles and stuff, and I just saw, for me, it was more like depth of soul, and just what's the word I'm looking for? It was kind of ghostly in a way, and I think that was timely too. So yeah, so for me, it felt more like that. But Leo, you're the singer-songwriter. do your songs come from a place of poetry, or is it just random thoughts and things? And when did you start writing?
When did I start writing? I probably started writing songs when I was like 10 or 11. And I write a lot of poetry also. And I like to write, but I honestly, like, different songs have different ways of coming to be, you know, like I've been a musician since before I was even writing. So like they come together a lot at the same time. A lot of the songs, like I often just sit and write at a piano or a guitar. And so I'm kind of doing the lyrics at the same time as trying to figure out chords. But it kind of depends. And ultimately, I'd say like I write a draft of the song, like chords plus lyrics, and then like I'll take it to the band, to Wyatt and his brother, and we'll kind of like flesh it out together. And sometimes we end up changing lyrics here and there, you know, certainly end up changing chords and musical structures. But yeah, it's hard to say where does the inspiration come from. I don't know. I like to write, and I feel like I get myself out there by putting words onto a page and then out loud as well.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And Wyatt, according to the bio, you're the multi-instrumentalist and producer. So what instruments do you play, and when did you actually start playing? What was your first instrument? And don't tell me recorder in the second grade.
What instruments do I play? I mean, like, I play a lot of instruments, like, okay. No.
Yeah.
I mean, my first instrument was guitar. My dad was always trying to get me and my brother to play guitar. Like, he bought us these, like, I don't know, these little guitars that were like that big when we were 5, thinking that we would play them, and I think we just like broke them or did something with them. Then he gave up for a while, and then I was 12 when he bought us. He actually had these two, like, he had this one 1965 Les Paul Jr., if anybody knows, with like anything like guitars. I mean, it's worth a lot of money. It's a really great guitar. And then this Telecaster from the 70s, which were our first guitars, which like you literally couldn't ask for better guitars, but we had no idea what we were doing. And we were watching like these dumb bands on these like dumb music videos, but it had like flashier guitars and stuff. And he ended up selling those and buying us like some really cheap.
And now all Aaron wants to use is Telecasters.
Yeah, now all Aaron plays are Telecasters, and like literally the only guitar I want is that Les Paul Jr. But you know.
We'll be back right after this.
Check it out. MobileEdge.com has award-winning products with innovative features and contemporary, edgy designs that empower you to look sharp and travel smart with your mobile tech. Your beloved, not to mention expensive gaming gear and mobile tech devices are an extension of you, so give them the protection and style they deserve wherever you go. Find them at MobileEdge.com and protect your tech with Mobile Edge. Bring it on. Hey Geek Insiders, Mobile Edge has a special coupon code for our dedicated listeners. Get 25% off your Mobile Edge gear using coupon code GEEK25. That's GEEK25. Geek out.
But yeah, so we were 12 and we both played together since then. And yeah, I played drums. Drums was my second instrument, and I played bass in this band. I do drums on some of our recordings. I played drums live
A couple times.
like 4 shows. Or
Wyatt's played pretty much all. He's played guitar, he's played bass, and he's played drums at various points. And he sings always in shows too.
Wherever you're needed, right?
We have a lot of different like various lineups over the years. Honestly, like with Wyatt and me and his twin brother have kind of been the core of the band, and then we've had some various members here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
For me, like playing the instruments came from, I got really into recording and production when I was like 16 or 17. So like it mainly came from like a necessity of being able to and wanting to record myself and do full productions. So I always played like, or tried to play whatever instrument that I could get my hands on. But however, my brother Aaron, who's the lead guitarist, like when we started playing guitar, he completely just took like he practiced like. Wow, I eventually got into writing, and then he just took like guitar playing to a level that I didn't even care to try.
Yeah. So how did you all meet? I mean, how did Lovechild come to happen?
I guess we first met at a show that they were playing in. I guess they were backing up a guy, another singer-songwriter who I knew from like a gig that we had played together, and I went to the show, and
Yeah, we
I
met
met
each
Aaron
other
and Wyatt, and then we ended up like recording a little bit with the same guy together a couple months later, and I don't know.
Yeah, we played this show at this DIY venue. It was me and my brother have a band, and then it was another band that we were backing up. So we met. I don't think Leo even saw any of this sets.
I saw Oliver set.
Yeah, but we met him outside, and I thought he was like such a jerk.
Yeah, same.
Like a
We
giant,
went to Two Boots.
like a giant trench coat on. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we were recording in Woodstock, and this kid who we were producing was like, "Is it cool if Leo comes?" And Leo came up, and we kind of just like, I don't know. Clicked.
I came up to play keyboards, I guess, and then I met him and his brother, and I was like, "Oh, I'm trying to start a band in the city. You guys want to play some shows?" And that's pretty much it. That was probably 6 years ago.
You know, that's really hard to have that kind of collaboration and stuff like that, because my brother loves to play. He plays guitar. He can do drum. You know, he can get on the drums if he needs to. He gets on bass when he needs to. And it's not easy for him to find a core group of guys that will put in the work that you guys are obviously doing. You know, I mean, that takes a lot of effort and time and dedication from everybody. And I'm sure that there are egos and things that you've had to overcome or work with.
My ego is bigger than everyone else's in the band, so that's all. That's all there's room for.
There's that, but also the fact like people having to deal with my brother and I as twins is a lot, because it's like
I'm the only one who can do it.
We're always gonna agree, me and Aaron, and then everybody's like, "What the fuck?" Like, I can't say anything because Aaron and Wyatt are like, "No."
Pretty much. There's not 3 votes in the band. There's only 2. There's only 2 votes. That's the thing, or like maybe like 2 1/4.
2 1/4.
I'm gonna get 1.25.
Now, you guys have been together at least for 4 years, right? Since at least the drop of Ain't Nothing Worse Than Running Out of Weed in 2016.
Yeah,
2016 was.
We were like, we started to play together like probably 2 years before that, and then it took a little while before we got more serious about it and made a band name and stuff.
Gotcha. So I gotta ask. I mean, Leo, you're a poet. I know how it is being a poet. I am a writer at heart, and when I get into that poetry mode, it just keeps going. And I haven't ever focused on songwriting. I don't know that that's something that I could do, but I do like poetry. And like I used to challenge myself, you know, going, okay, I'm going to write haikus. And then I start seeing the whole damn world in haikus. And you start thinking in that pattern. But so I got to ask, because you guys have been together for this long, I know that there's more songs out there, because I've only had a chance to listen through what's available through Alexa and Apple Podcasts. Do you guys have something against traditional CD releases, or do you like just doing the singles? Because I noticed that there's only these singles about it. And like I said, I haven't had a chance to check out YouTube.
That's a good question. Well, we have a album that's going to be coming out at some point.
It's done.
In the near future. It's actually completely finished. The honest answer is that
Oh.
it's a lot of painstaking work and perfectionism to get done. We have a lot. We have all written a lot of other music and a lot of songs that a lot of it will never see the life of day, if I'm being honest, and maybe some of them will one day. And some stuff we played live that didn't end up making the album at the end. But yeah, it just took a while to record, and we recorded everything kind of like Wyatt engineered the whole project pretty much on his own, or like together with us, like in our bedroom a lot of the times, and wherever we could record.
What did you enjoy?
My own vocals was there myself, asshole. Jesus.
Now, you guys were headed to my neck of the woods, or you were planning on heading there. I'm outside of Austin, Texas, and y'all were slated for South by Southwest. When the whole, what we like to call the Great Pause hit, and you weren't able to make it down here. Of course, South by Southwest got canceled. And so I kind of see that as, damn, because I really think that could have been a really good thing, because Austin is the music capital of the world. South by Southwest is such a kick-ass event. But I'm kind of glad, because now I'm hoping that when you guys do come to Austin, my little ass can go out there and meet with you guys in person and see you play live. But you all came up with, you got him now?
You get him?
Bring him in here.
Hello.
Our internet just cut out for a second.
But now, of course,
You were talking about South by Southwest, Matthew.
Yeah.
Right. But you all didn't waste that time. All of your equipment was packed up. Y'all were ready to make this big, long trek from New York to Austin, Texas. And then it didn't happen. The worldwide pause happened, or the Great Pause happened. But you all ended up putting together the Love Me All Up song at that. Now, was the song written at that time, or did y'all just go ahead and record it at that time?
It had already been written. Like, I had the chords and the lyrics and everything, and
we'd done like a demo.
Yeah, we had made like a little demo before, but we just kind of reworked it. It was like a slower thing, and it was in like 3, and then we made it faster and a little more straight ahead, more of a rock song than like it was kind of like in slower soul area before that. But yeah, no, it was written already, and we just spent like a couple of days recording it in the house. It was fun, honestly. Yeah. And
the video is so cool, man. I mean, you all show on the home videos. Wyatt, that was you, right?
Yeah, just like any footage we can find of something stupid or something not stupid.
And it was funny though, because a lot of the times when you're showing the guitar playing, it kind of matches up for a good portion of it.
I know that there was one when he's doing the solo and that it was kind of crazy. I found one clip and it looks like
it's funny because we've never actually played that song at a show still.
Yeah, but yeah, it matched up really well.
It did. And
so now go ahead, Matthew. I didn't.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So what I was going to say is that with the Great Pause and everything, and for anybody who's listening on the replay sometime in the future, when we're hopefully on the brink of opening up again with the world, it must be very difficult for you guys to kind of sit back and wait for everything to open up again. I mean, you're not obviously playing at live shows. You're not going to the venues. You can't even go to a bar and do like an open mic.
New York's opening up.
Well, not yet, but that must be really difficult for you guys. What are you doing to kind of keep yourselves busy beyond the music and trying to record at home and stuff?
That's a good question. It's been tough. You're right. I mean, thankfully we have been pretty much finished on the work from our album by the time this all happened. We kind of just had to do some like final mixing and mastering work. on it, and we were able to get that done now. So like, at least we got some stuff in the bag to just like throw out there, but also at the same time, you know, especially for Lovechild, like I don't really want to put all our stuff that we've been working on out there at a time when we can't play live in New York City, especially. So it's tough. I don't know. What have you been doing? Stay busy? Eating ramen mostly.
It's incredibly frustrating. I mean, I've been biking a lot. That's one like.
Biking, yeah. I've been driving my car random places.
I mean, we've been playing. You know, we've been playing as much as we can.
We did a live stream show yesterday.
Live stream
actually,
last night.
that was the first
Okay.
we did like all together as a band because Wyatt was like out of the city for a bit when this all started, and I like did like one live stream thing by myself. But yesterday was the first time we did one like all together with an actual band and a drummer and everything. So it was definitely good to play again with the whole band.
I bet.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just hoping we're gonna be able to play again soon. You know, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's one thing that we've talked to a lot of artists during the shutdown here, or the pause. And, you know, we've heard both sides that some are getting really, really damn creative during this time. And they're just pumping out works left and right, whether they're a writer, a singer, songwriter, a comic book artist, what have you, that they have buckled down and they're using this time to their advantage. And then we've heard the extreme opposite, where people are throwing down their pens and they're like, oh, screw it. You know, the depression has got to them or what have you. And they're just shutting in. And it's great to see that not only at the beginning of the pause, you guys took advantage of it and you pumped out the Love Me All Up, which that one to me, guys, I see different reviews of you all saying, you know, this 70s-esque group, but man, I feel the 50s or the 60s, I should say, a lot of the songs and a lot of the lyrics. And that one really, the Love Me All Up, that was Beatles and the Stones wrapped together. And I'm no music critic, folks. Y'all can call me crazy. You know, I don't have a music degree. I don't have a review degree, but I like music. I know what I like, and I do like Lovechild. What I found annoying was you go to search just Lovechild online, and you can't find you guys just by Lovechild. Because you got the Pointer Sisters.
I would almost be afraid of that search.
And it comes up, do you mean Love Space Child? But
Yeah, totally.
then you type in Lovechild Band and you find out it's lovechildny.com, folks, in case you want to learn more about the band, because they got everything listed out there. Everywhere you can find them, the whole 9 yards. And on YouTube, I have seen several of the videos. Now, who do you guys sit down as a group and come up with a concept for the videos, or is this something that is just the brainchild of one person? How do you all decide on what you're going to do for the videos?
We'll be back right after this quick break. For Geek Insider advertising opportunities, contact advertising@geekinsider.com. We offer space on the website, in the daily newsletter, sponsored posts, and advertising space on our podcast. For details, contact advertising@geekinsider.com.
I have seen several of the videos. Now, who do you guys sit down as a group and come up with a concept for the videos, or is this something that is just the brainchild of one person? How do you all decide on what you're going to do for the videos?
It's been a combination of things. I mean, like it's more or less, yeah. I mean, the Love Me All Up video that I edited together was like, I was quarantined upstate in Woodstock for a while, and I was like at my mom's house and sharing a room with my little sister, so I was looking for something to do. That was how that one happened. It was just, since we couldn't get together and film any new footage, that was like really the only thing that made sense. So that one was like that, but other ones in the past, like we have a song Ocean Hill, we like met at a bar and just sat down and just thought of something that we could do. And hats off I had like we sat down and tried to figure it out, you know, and we talked on the phone and we got some ideas, and I had one other idea and kind of just, I don't know.
Oh, and I mean, yeah, we worked with like one guy, Wyatt's like good friend, who he grew up with, has been basically our photographer, and has done a lot of video work for us over the years now. So we've worked with him on a bunch of stuff, and yeah, it's been a collaborative effort. I'd say Wyatt probably has the most conceptual understanding of that stuff. Tries to take the lead.
Well, I've definitely liked what I've seen so far. I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of the videos, but I did see Hats Off, and I did see the Love Me All Up. And no, I didn't get to. I got to hear Northbound Train, but I didn't get to see the video.
But very different.
Huh?
That video is super different, actually. My ex-girlfriend shot some footage on a drive, and I edited it with Aiden, our manager, yeah. So we were the only two people who really did anything with that.
Gotcha.
So various things have come about different ways, I guess, but yeah.
And so, you said that the album or the CD? I always show my age, guys, and say album, you know. But and hey, vinyl's making a comeback. But you said it's ready. It's coming out by the end of the year. Are we going to hear some new tracks that we haven't seen on YouTube or seen released yet?
Yeah, it's pretty much like all new stuff. Like Hats Off is the only thing that we put out now that's going to be on the album. There's one song that we did put out, Ocean Hill, is going to be on the record, but we kind of made a new version of the song.
Now, and that is another one that I listened to. I liked it. I have to say, Leo, your voice is just one of those that I can get into, you know, and I don't care if you're doing the folksy singing or you're doing kind of the 60s feel, or you're doing something, you know, like There Ain't Nothing Worse, because you've just got that kind of voice. And when Meredith and I have different taste in music, she still likes a wide variety, but there's times where I like stuff and she doesn't, but we both really liked Hats Off. Uh-oh. You both are looking sideways. There's
just some noise coming from the street. I don't know. Someone's doing something.
Oh, Lord. Lovely. Well, y'all are in New York. There's no telling. You know,
it's definitely not the way it is.
Now, I keep hogging up all the time here. And guys, we don't, you know, we said 30 minutes, but we don't have a cutoff here. We like to keep the conversation going, but if you guys got a split, we can definitely wrap it up.
No worries.
Good deal.
Cool.
Meredith, go ahead though, because I have been hogging it for a little bit.
Well, no, I wanted to ask because, you know, kind of piggybacking off of what Matthew was saying is with the vocals, what kind of vocal training did you have? Or is it just from experience, just going out there and doing it and trying not to hurt yourself? Because obviously, you know, if you're a singer, you want to have the longevity. And so vocal technique is very important.
Honestly, you know, I think it's different for everyone. That's what I can say. As far as singing, I have a naturally loud voice. And I mean, I've been singing like my whole life. I just was like kind of raised, like my parents are not necessarily musicians, but they're musical, and my grandparents and stuff are musicians. So I just had music around me, and I was always singing in the car. Never taken a vocal lesson. I've been trained, like I have classical training on piano and stuff, but I've never taken a vocal lesson.
Wow.
I don't probably do enough to keep my voice in shape, honestly. I smoke a lot of weed all day long.
See, I knew it. I knew we were going to be able to get along. And
I practice singing a lot. That's what I would say. I practice all the time. I love to sing.
So a quick piggyback off of that, has the New York shutdown and the pandemic made it to where running out of weed is something that is happening a lot?
No. The weed has not been shut down in New York City.
Here either. You know.
I think more people are smoking weed now.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it one bit. And you know, and I was kind of surprised. I was worried. I told my wife, I was like, "Holy crap! They're shutting the state down here in Texas. It's going to be hard to get, you know, our supply." But no, it hadn't been.
Yeah, I was worried too at first, but then I thought about it harder, and I was like, "Why would they stop selling weed?"
Right. Well, I just.
One way or the other.
Well, unfortunately, it's not legal in my state, but
Not here either, actually. Yeah, right.
oh yeah, that's right.
We have recreational. We have medical, but not recreational.
Gotcha. Well, see, I could get medical, but I do it for both medical and recreational. I can't even say recreational, so I'm lying. But
See, I do whiskey. That's legal everywhere.
and don't be fooled, guys. That's not just straight coffee she's drinking. That has whiskey in it. We already talked about it, and I've just finished mine. But so I know that New York has started to lift restrictions. Y'all are still in going in slow phases. Have y'all booked anything, or are you guys holding off saying, okay? And he's shaking his head.
We don't know when shows are going to be back on in the city. No one knows, I don't think. It seems like out of town, like upstate and stuff, maybe they're getting back to like outdoor gigs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we might try to see if we can do
We're trying to see
some outdoor stuff this summer. We would definitely do that.
Yeah, because well, you've got, I mean, towards the end of summer, hopefully you'll be able to do some festivals and things like that, especially upstate.
all festivals are done. I don't know.
They've been canceled.
Festival, yeah, most festivals have been canceled. Maybe some smaller ones in like little towns,
Right.
but
Yeah.
And saying that's something that we're seeing across the board, with comic book conventions being canceled and just any kind of large gatherings in general being canceled. And Austin has just started opening up 6th Street, and you're starting to see the crowds, but we're also seeing a huge jump in our hospitalizations and our overall positives. And so I'm really worried that, the area or the direction we were heading can be, swooped right back down. So even trying to guess that August we're going to be open back up full here is a fool's errand, I do believe.
yeah.
I guess in a way it kind of throws you guys back into a situation where, you might be looking for bar gigs and things like that, the smaller venues, until the bigger ones start opening up. I mean, with sports and everything, nobody knows, or, how limited the audience can be, in the stadiums and stuff like that. So I mean, you probably would be limited to the outdoor patios and
Right.
the effects of weather and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was just reading something today. I think Colorado is starting to have concerts again, but it's basically, I mean, it depends on the size, like the capacity of the venue. I think like they can do max 25% capacity.
And who can profit off of that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the tickets have to be more expensive.
Yeah, they're gonna have to raise ticket prices across the board.
I think they can't. They can't have more than 100 people in any space. Basically, any space that like would require more than 100 people to make it even like remote.
So I've got a fun question for you guys. If you were able to be like the opening band for somebody,
Oh, good one.
who would it be?
like a band that's still performing, or
Any band.
Just any band, dead or alive. We'll even put that out there.
I don't know. How about probably like opening for like early 70s Rolling Stones tours.
Very cool.
I can't really imagine anything more fun than that.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right. And I think your music would complement them or lead into them so well, at least with what I've heard so far. I can't wait to get my hands on the CD. And I noticed on the website, you guys, or at least I didn't see it yet, I may not have dug too deep, but you guys aren't like a lot of other bands. Is there merchandise that's available yet, or have y'all been holding off on that?
We've got some T-shirts that are available. I wish we had one to show you. I don't know. They're in the other room. We've got T-shirts. We need to get on that. We'll have more available. Hopefully, once the album is coming out and everything, we'll have to get everything.
And that's going to be available through Lovechild New York or lovechildny.com. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be. Honestly, we never dealt with the. I'm pretty sure you got to pay more for the website to sell things on it. And whenever we were making the website, we decided not to do that because it wasn't necessary at that point. And
well,
now we're here.
Whenever the album does drop, guys, please let us know. Come back and visit us, because we would love to, cut a couple or play a couple of tracks off of it. The whole music aspect of Geek Insider, it's huge. We have memberships to albums of the month or album of the month clubs that we do reviews on and stuff with another writer. But the geek sphere, as I like to call it, all of us are into music, and that, of course your music may not be for everybody, but I don't see how it couldn't be for most of our audience, because it is feel good music. It's well written. It's well played, man. I mean, just everything about the songs. And I loved the message from Hats Off. And it's so cool that your dad gave you the opening lyrics, basically.
Doesn't know.
And it was something that wasn't written, during the everything that's been going on with all of the protest and everything. But it is so timely because it does fit into that at this point, but then it also has a much deeper message. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard Lovechild, you can ask your favorite little virtual assistant just to play Hats Off by Lovechild, and then make sure that you check out their YouTube channel, because they have some other kick-ass videos and they got a lot of good music. Meredith, go ahead. I know you had a couple more questions, didn't you? At least one. I know of one you had.
Well, we've had you for about 40 minutes now, and we normally end with the one question we ask all of our guests, and I usually pass it off to Matthew, but he passed it off to me today. And this is smart. If you could go back in time and ask or tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Give your younger self a piece of advice. See, I guess I should have taken it. You screwed it all up.
You know what? Because it's been a while. Wyatt, you want to go first? Okay, hold on. If you need to.
No, we're good.
I have to.
It's such a hard question. Like, because I feel like if I had to come up with like an honest answer, it would just sound really like stereotypical. It's like be more confident or something. Like, great.
I would
great.
I would definitely tell myself.
But like, that's the honest answer. Be more confident in what you do.
And that's what we want. Is honest.
Oh yeah.
I would just stress how important like patience is to myself, and like you can get caught up in expectations.
Sure. I mean, when I was younger, I felt like I was afraid of everything, and it was just like, hey, it's okay. If it's not going to kill you, it'll probably make you stronger, because we all have those battles and stuff like that, whether it's the everyday stuff that we have to do, whether it's just being accepted and, having that dynamic with your peers, or trying to get along with people and just getting on in life in general and stuff like that. And I think that speaks to your words, your poetry and things, and what you're putting out there as far as your lyrics is, you are speaking from the heart when we do that. And music is such an important venue because it really touches people on so many levels.
Right.
You know, I always say that music is like it takes somebody, you know, to actually translate the music and to feel the rhythm, and then that is a journey that you're sharing with other people and you're bringing them along by the storytelling and by how your music makes people feel, and it gives us insight into what you're going through possibly, you know, and so it's so important. And I love musicians because they always have the depth, but they never want to really talk about it. So I love your answer because it is honest.
Yeah.
Now, besides the lovechildny.com, are there any other social media channels that people can follow you at? Where can they find you? Where can they follow and find out where you're going to be? All that good stuff, guys.
We're pretty much Lovechild NY across the board. Like lovechildny.com, Instagram is Lovechild NY, Facebook handle is Lovechild NY, Spotify if you listen there, Apple Music.
Spotify's just Lovechild.
Yeah, I mean Spotify's just Lovechild. I think on Spotify we're usually the first Lovechild that comes up at this point, and you know, Apple Music is we haven't.
It is screwy. That's where I tried looking you guys up, and
it's screwy. There's a lot of Lovechild. There's like multiple pages that say Lovechild that are us Lovechild now, so it's a little screwy.
Right.
But you can find us if you try. That's for sure. Just find we're in the photos, so.
And we're going to help out with that because we'll have an accompanying article with this podcast, and we're going to link out to everything of you guys. And of course, like I said earlier, when the world opens back up and when you all do, or you're able to make it down to Austin, please let me know. I will be there with bells on. I'd love to, you know, at least to meet you guys in person. We can go out back, smoke one up. And then, you know, get you ready. But we've definitely enjoyed it, everybody. Meredith, did you have any final questions? I had one and then I forgot it.
Oh no, you always do that. No,
it's
I just
every
wanted
show.
to thank you guys. I just wanted to thank you guys for taking the time to speak with us, and we're really excited about your music and hoping that that our audience, the Geek Insider audience, will, you know, jump on board and tune in and listen to you guys. And I am personally looking forward to seeing you guys as well if you're ever down in Florida. I actually have family up in New York. I was so excited when I saw your bio and it said that you've been, you know, like kind of traipsing around the Hudson Valley, and most of my family's in Orange County.
Okay, nice. He's from Ulster County.
Ulster County. Okay, cool.
Woodstock. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I lived in Orange County. I was up in the Adirondacks for a while, so those are my old stomping grounds.
I went to New York one time, and we were down near Times Square. We saw a bar that said the Texas Grill or Texas Bar, Texas Bar. Walked in there, and the guy goes, "Hey, what can I get you guys?" And I said, No. If you got Texas in the name, it's what can I get y'all? And he ended up buying me a beer, and we got along the rest of the night. But I actually loved it. It was a great experience. But again, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, this has been Leo Lovechild and Wyatt, and I'm going to screw up your last name because I didn't write it down. What was it, Wyatt?
Mones.
All right. And they're from Lovechild. Check them out at lovechildny.com, and then Lovechild NY across Instagram, Facebook, and all those good social media platforms. Thank you, gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you. We're just going to hit the end broadcast button. But thanks, everyone, for joining us. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you for tuning in to Geek Speak, a Geek Insider production powered by NSC Live TV. Become part of our show with sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For details, contact advertising at geekinsider.com or visit podcast.geekinsider.com. The Geek Insider podcast is available on your favorite app, so please hit the follow button and share it out to your friends, because if you don't, you might have to turn in your geek card.